we're trying to cultivate in-country, in the Northeast, as a viable way in working. That's why we pay our staff who work in the villages. We hire people in the villages and we provide these career opportunities. We have quite a large team there now, send them to different places and work with different experts. We're seeing this twofold. Primarily, it's the people in the Northeast because we do need people there. You can provide some financial incentive because the alternative for many of these young people might look pretty grim. When we talk about international, completely agree. It's very challenging. And I don't think working full-time in the sector is for everyone, especially in a smaller charity. But what would be amazing is for people to link themselves with one charity and say, hey, I'm going to volunteer in a consistent way for at least 12 months. It may only look like 2 hours a week, but I'm going to give it 2 hours a week. I think that could help charities, especially like Palmera, the way our website works, graphics, doing Instagram. These are all things that you can't pay for. But when you can look a certain way, you can then attract more funds and then do more work on the ground. I find that it is challenging to get volunteers, even if it's not their day job, because life is so busy, to stay committed to the cause for a long time. But I think, as you said, maybe some of those other factors do play into it. And we're always thinking about how do we create an incentive for volunteers to kind of stay engaged. So that's the challenge. The challenge is resources, really. And that's why those long-term volunteers are really critical. I think most charities, anything that they're not doing well is because they're really just trying to find the people to help them and the brains that are willing to give that time. It is resources, as well as feeling confident that you can continue that, because you don't want to start something and then not have to continue. So you were talking before about water.org, how they created a separate fund, and Palmera did the same thing. We created a growth fund, a separate fund that donors donate into that allow us to continue something that we started. You spoke about impact, and we've really invested in creating apps that we collect data from. There's a lot of failures in that process when you don't have a lot of resources, but through this growth fund and through foundations who kind of have given us money into that fund, we can kind of go through that failure, figure out how can we collect really good data and be more impact focused. Always trying to be creative with limited resources to achieve the same outcomes that for-profits can.